Okay, we're here at Whistler Olympic Park for the Kisser Conference. We've caught up with John Aalberg, who's the director of Whistler Olympic Park, but also a few other things, aren't you, John?
Yeah, I do have a few jobs. It feels like I got 3 jobs going right now. I am the director of this Olympic Park, which means I'm overseeing all the operations and working with the staff here at the Olympic Park for their operation. I'm also the director of Nordic Sports for VANOC, which means I sit in the VANOC office and do all the planning for the games planning for the sports of biathlon, cross country, ski jump and Nordic combine. Although I do that with our sport managers in each of those sports. And then I'm also planning the games as the games time venue manager, which means I'm in charge of this entire venue during the games. All the departments, all the 30 departments, not just the sport department. So I got my days set most weeks.
It sounds like you have a full plate.
Yeah, but it's all interesting work. Obviously, I love working, in this area. I did a similar role in Salt Lake. I did work as a FIS official in Torino, and I was inside the organizing committee in Nagano, and I skied twice myself as an athlete in '92 and '94. So I guess games are a big part of what I do.
So this is a special one for you, obviously. There are teams still coming out here. You said the Norwegians were just here. Who else is coming out to check out the venue?
Yeah, we had the entire about 30 Norwegians in great red new suits. About a week ago they were here for 5 days, and then this coming week, next weekend, we got the Finnish cross-country team and the Swedish cross-country team. We got the Czech world champion from 2003, Martin Kukal, here. We just had Slovenians here, and we will have also a few biathlon teams here coming the last week of April and first week of May. The Canadian team, the US team that will be here.
Wow, that's a lot of activity still, all in preparation for the games.
Yeah, last year we skied on our Olympic stadiums the first week of June, and even later, higher up in the trail system. So, we close for public skiing here. This is our last weekend, April 19th. But if we had skiers willing to ski, we could stay open longer. But we are now into mountain biking and running and windsurfing and such, in this part of the world.
So the World Cup was here in January. It was your first test for the games, and all accounts it sounded like it was a great success. Tell us what your impressions were and what kind of things might be changing going forward.
Well, it's second year of operations, and then we've focused on having lots of events. The first year, 2 years ago, we did have 14 events, including the Canadian national championships in all these disciplines. This year, was our chance to show our venue to the call it the Olympic skiers through the World Cup events. We had 5 World Cups here, this winter. We had 3 FIS World Cups in January, and then Paralympic World Cup and an IBU Biathlon World Cup in March. And overall, we are very happy with the way everything came up. It was a test for the Olympic Committee, a logistic test. We're testing our management, and obviously the field of play as we name the competition, courses. Most of the athletes and coaches love our venue, our courses. They're obviously, these are kind of unique courses, very technical, not a lot of long grinding uphills, but this is the way FIS wants it. It's kind of a modern system where it challenges really also the downhills. We got very good comments. A couple of skiers would have liked it to be, I think they're mountain goats really inside, so they would have liked more hills, but we got to come down too, so we're very happy, and FIS is very happy with what we have here.
Well, I think we've heard as well that some of the Euros said that courses could be harder, but also I remember Bill DeMong saying there isn't an easy cross-country course out there. So.
No, and I'm a skier myself, long term, and I know what the good ski course is like. When I talk to some of the famous old skiers, Vegard Ulvang, Gunde Svan. Gunde Svan is those of us in the ski industry knows him. He was out here last year, and he was joking, I'd like to come back from retirement. I love these courses so much. So I listened to those old famous skiers, and we want to bring this little bit back to the way it's a technical course. You need to be a good technical skier, not just an uphill runner. And that's really what we focused on here, to bring the courses back to a technical skier's course.
Sounds good. Are there any changes in place or planned based on the way you have things going now?
No, it's not really changes. We've built these courses. The way we did it is extremely flexible in, which course is used for which event. So we have altered a little bit based on our feedback from the World Cups. We lengthened the sprint course a little bit by 100 meters to get an additional uphill. And we changed the women's pursuit course from a 2.5 to 3.75. And we changed a couple of the individual courses to just use use a different course than a different 5K than we originally had planned. So, but no new courses. These are all part of the course system.
Right. Just nuances were changed.
Yeah.
So going forward, once all the teams leave and everything starts, the snow actually leaves. What happens from that point going forward?
Well, this venue so far, including the World Cups, is a very simple venue. We don't have the Olympic look. We don't have all our temporary facilities. So right behind me here, we'll install about a bleacher system for about 2,500 to 3,000 seats. And then that's starting already in August this summer. And so from August on, we'll start coming with all the temporary overlay facilities. And we'll start cable, the pathways for the broadcast cable, the power. It's a lot of tents and trailers that's going to come in this fall, and a lot of fencing, a lot of cabling, and all of that's going to take place. And we're gonna try to be ready early here. This is a venue that VANOC owns and operates. And we want to be ready in good time, such that when the snow comes, we can focus on preparing that and not installing tents and trailers.
Sure. Canada has been awarded a lot of World Cups going forward, which is very exciting for North America. How much of a role do you think the 2010 Games has come into play with FIS's decision to bring the World Cups here?
Well, obviously, there's a couple of key points. Canmore has, refurbished and upgraded their facilities to our world-class, facility that can host World Cups and even more. Now we have this one, so then you have two places that is outside Europe, and FIS has been very happy with what Canmore and Cross Country Canada has shown, at that site, and they want to see more of that standard. So obviously we are all hoping that the funding, the provincial, federal funding for these big events can continue, and that's extremely important. The venues are here now. I think the key thing is the funding to pay for these expensive events.
Sure, it's always a key part of it. Can you speak a little bit about the legacy from the Games for skiers?
Yeah, part of what we've done here is much more than just what's needed for the Games. We, as VANOC, the organizing committee for the Games, they really have a lot of thought around legacy. We built, in addition to the Olympic trails, which is about a total of 15 kilometers, we had funding to build an additional 35 to 40 kilometers of easier recreational trails. We were able to build a beautiful day lodge. We don't need the day lodge for the Games, but obviously it's a critical component for public and post-Games. So every step of the way we've thought, how can this work post-Games? And I feel like we've been able to do that. We've been operating now for 2 years. Public love this place. We get hundreds and hundreds of skiers here on the weekends. We're able to run, development program at the same time. We even had public here during the World Cups and club programs going on at the same time as we ran the World Cups, by the virtue of spreading out our stadiums a little bit. So I feel this is in place for a beautiful legacy. There's some work to be done in terms of summer activities. This is an expensive place to operate. So right now we're very happy with winter, and now we're focusing on what can happen here the rest of the year, such that we can have a four-season resort.
Sounds very exciting. We're going to thank you for taking time with us, John. It sounds like a lot of work, but you're up for the challenge and things are moving in the right direction. We
Well,
wish you all
thank
the
you.
best.
Thank you, and it's great to see you here and see the Cross Country Ski Area Association here. And we welcome everybody to come see us this year and come back for the games. And then obviously, then I think you'll be hooked for post games as well.
We look forward to it. Thanks, John.
Not going to be right.